Ayan. So, hello everyone. Good morning sa inyo if morning nyo man to napanood. And good evening if gabi nyo man to napanood. So, today, I will be discussing it to you. The first two topics for finals. That's the overview of metabolism. And the second one is our glycolysis. So, start muna tayo sa ating overview of metabolism. This is just a short discussion kasi most of the concept here is already discussed in your PE class. Okay, so before we proceed to our discussion, I'll just want to share it to you the learning objectives of this lesson. So at the end of the lesson, the students should be able to list the major metabolic pathways and their cellular locations. And also, differentiate between aerobic and anaerobic metabolism. So, madali lang yan sa inyo. Okay, kasi you already have an idea what is aerobic metabolism and what is anaerobic metabolism. Okay po? So, let's proceed to metabolic pathway. So, ano nga ba ang metabolic pathway, everyone? So, metabolic pathways are defined as the series of biochemical reactions. So, kapag series of biochemical reactions that converts substrate. So, meron tayong substrate dito, substrates into products. Itong substrate na to, everyone, these are yung precursor molecules. Okay, precursor molecules needed. Ayan, yan yung precursor molecules needed for the reaction. So, example natin, di ba sabi ko sa inyo kanina, ang glycolysis yung i-discuss natin na unang pathway. So, sa ating glycolysis, ayan, glycolysis, ang precursor natin or yung substrates natin na yan is our glucose. So, itong glucose na to, kakailanganin natin para makapag-create tayo ng tinatawag nating products. Nagigets nyo po? Okay? And then facilitating the transformation of matter and energy within a cell to support an organism's life. This pathway includes processes such as anabolism, which builds new substances, and catabolism, which breaks down complex substances for energy. Ayan, yung dalawang klase ng ating reaction. Okay, the anabolic reactions and the catabolic reaction. So always remember that itong anabolism natin and catabolism natin is different but they occur simultaneously. Okay, simultaneously. So, hindi sila parehas pero nangyayari sila simultaneously sa ating katawan. Okay? So, always remember that one kasi meron akong narinig before that anabolic reactions daw and our catabolic reaction ay parehas. But to make it clearer, hindi po yon parehas. So, simultaneous lang po sila nag-a-occur sa ating katawan. And also, we have our major metabolic pathways. First, we have our glycolysis, the Krebs cycle or yung ating TCA cycle. Ayan, TCA cycle. Electron transport chain, ayan, ETC. And then gluconeogenesis, glycogenesis, lipid metabolism. And actually, wala na itong protein metabolism. So, meron tayong, present ko naman na sa inyo yung i-discuss natin na major metabolic pathway. So, wag nyo nang problemahin itong protein metabolism na yan. So, mag-focus tayo dito sa nabanggit lang muna. Okay, except dun sa ating protein metabolism. So, ayun. So, to give you a brief description or idea about our metabolic pathways, yung tatlo na yan na cellular respiration. First, our glycolysis. So, our glycolysis, it occurs in our cytoplasm and functions breakdown of glucose into pyruvate. Ayan, breakdown of glucose into pyruvate. Ganito lang to kasimple, everyone, ha? Ganito lang kasimple ang glycolysis natin. Kaya kapag may nagtanong, what is glycolysis? That's the breakdown of glucose into pyruvate or the reaction where glucose produces or converted into pyruvate. Ganun lang kasimple yun. Pero, kapag magdidig in tayo dito sa glycolysis natin na yan, meron pang mga steps na kakailanganin natin para makapag-create tayo ng ating pyruvate. So, yun yung i-discuss natin mamaya. And then, it produces 2 ATP, yan yung net. Sa ating reaction of glycolysis kasi, actually, meron siyang 4 ATP doon. But then, yung 2 ATP na yan, na minus yan, kasi kakailanganin ulit yan ng katawan natin. Yung 2 na yan, tapos yung 2 na yan, magpro-proceed naman siya into the next reaction or that next metabolic pathway, which is our Krebs cycle. Okay? So, net yan, net. Ito lang yung naiwan. Kapag net yields, yan lang yung naiwan. And then 2 NADH. Itong NADH na to, meron siyang katumbas. Ang ating 1 NADH is equal to 3 ATP. So, since then, dalawa yung ATP na na-produce natin during glycolysis. Dalawa yan. So, it means we have 2 NADH, we have 6 ATP. And then, i-add natin ito. I-add natin yan. That will form 8 ATP after ng glycolysis natin. Okay? And then, we also have here our does not require oxygen. So, this will fall under aerobic. Okay, aerobic ha? Anaerobic. Sorry. Anaerobic respiration or metabolism kasi nga hindi siya nagre-require ng oxygen. And also, we have our Krebs cycle or yung ating TCA cycle. Yan, TCA cycle. So, it occurs in mitochondrial matrix. So, depende na yan kung inner ba siya or outer mitochondrial matrix. And then, it functions complete glucose breakdown. Kasi after ng ating pyruvate na yan, magko-convert yan sa ating acetyl coenzyme A or oxaloacetate, acetate. And then, meron pa tayong alanine. And then, meron pang isa. Okay, madidiscuss naman yun mamaya. So, hindi nag-i-stop ang ating cycle. Sabi ko nga kanina sa inyo, process yan. So, after ng glycolysis, interconnected kasi yan, magpo-proceed siya ng Krebs cycle natin. Okay? And then, it produces NADH, FADH2, and ATP. So, makikita nyo soon, kapag i-discuss ko na sa inyo ang Krebs cycle. Okay? So, i-remember nyo po yan ha. Huwag nyo pong kakalimutan. And, our Krebs cycle requires oxygen indirectly. But, ang nabanggit dyan, requires oxygen, di ba? Requires oxygen. So, this will fall under aerobic respiration pa rin. Okay. Aerobic respiration pa rin. Kasi nga, nangangailangan pa rin siya ng oxygen but indirectly. Next po natin, our electron transport chain. So, it occurs in inner mitochondrial membrane. And it produces large amount of ATP, and it uses NADH and FADH2. And it requires oxygen as the final electron acceptor. Itong electron transport chain na to, ito yung pinaka-complex sa lahat. As in, doon nga sa ginawa kong PowerPoint na i-discuss ko sa inyo soon, more on, wordy siya. Hindi siya madami sa diagram, kundi text talaga yung madami doon. So, doon tayo mahihirapan intindihin kung anong meron sa electron transport chain. But then, sabi ko nga sa inyo, di ba? Papadaliin ko yon para sa inyo. And then, other metabolic pathways, we have our metabolic pathway and locations. We have our gluconeogenesis that occurs in our liver, specifically in our mitochondria and cytoplasm. And also for our glycogenesis, it occurs in our cytoplasm. And glycogenolysis, it's also occur in our cytoplasm. And then lipid metabolism occurs in our mitochondria and smooth ER. 'Di ba ang ating smooth ER kasi, everyone, that sila yung nagsisynthesize, okay, nagsisynthesize ng ating lipids. Okay, sinisynthesize nila ang lipids. So, dito nangyayari ang lipid metabolism. And also, our protein metabolism sa cytoplasm pa rin. Okay, I hope nakaka-follow po kayo kasi madali pa lang naman po ito. And then, Aerobic metabolism po natin. So, ganito lang yan kasimple. Kahit hindi nyo na po basahin yung ating PowerPoint. Okay, aerobic metabolism, ganito lang yung difference nila. Kapag aerobic, nangangailangan ito ng oxygen. Nangangailangan yan oxygen and also for daily functioning natin. So, ano nga ba yung for daily functioning natin, di ba? Example natin, walking. Di ba? Walking. Lagay ko dito, walking. Jogging. Ayan. So, ito yung mga running pa. Okay, running. Ganun, mga daily functioning natin, mga daily na activities natin. So, nangangailangan sila ng enough oxygen para magawa natin yung activity na yon. So, that's aerobic metabolism. Yan yung example niya, walking, jogging, and running. So, ayan, itong aerobic metabolism natin, kino-convert niya rather ang ating fats and carbohydrates into usable energy in the form of our adenosine triphosphate. Okay? So, ganyan lang kasimple ang ating aerobic metabolism. And also, our aerobic metabolism that requires oxygen and occurs mainly in our mitochondria. And in each glucose, there is a 36 to 38 ATP produced. Again, in each glucose, there's 36 to 38 ATP na naproproduce po. Example po natin is our cellular respiration. Ito yung glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and then ATC, electron transport chain. For our anaerobic naman, ito is hindi siya nagre-require ng oxygen. Do not require oxygen. And also, ito is nagkakaroon ng sudden burst of energy. Again, sudden burst of energy. Sir, anong mas maganda sa kanila? Okay, ang tanong, sinong mas maganda sa kanila? Yung aerobic ba or yung anaerobic? Siyempre, ang mas maganda sa kanila is our aerobic respiration. Kasi nga, daily functioning natin yon. So, imagine kapag hindi tayo nagre-require ng oxygen sa katawan natin, syempre magiging lupaypay ka na, 'di ba? Lupaypay ka na. So sa ating anaerobic metabolism, everyone, nagkakaroon ng sudden burst of energy. So sir, ano naman yung mga examples natin for our anaerobic metabolism? Example po natin dito is our weightlifting. Dito ko na lang lagay. Okay, weightlifting. 'Di ba? Weightlifting. So, imagine niyo na lang, si Heidelin Diaz, kapag hindi siya nag-require ng sudden burst of energy sa pag-lift ng kanyang barbell, 'di ba? Anong mangyayari? 'Di ba? Hindi niya mabubuhat talaga 'yon kasi wala siyang sudden burst of energy. Dito ngayon papasok ang ating anaerobic metabolism where kino-convert hindi naman siya nagre-require ng presence of oxygen pero nagko-convert pa rin siya nangangailangan pa rin siya ng energy to proceed with that activity. So hindi niya kinakailangan ng mga raw materials para makapag-convert ng energy. Excuse me everyone. So yung raw materials na tinawag diyan is yung fats, carbs, ganyan. Yan yung raw material. So hindi niya na yan kailangan para makapag-convert tayo ng energy or para makapag-produce tayo ng energy natin. And also for our anaerobic metabolism, it does not require oxygen. It occurs in cytoplasm and it produces 2 ATP per glucose. And the end product is our lactate acid. So remember nyo to everyone that during our anaerobic po, ang ating end product is our pyruvate. And for our aerobic pala to, aerobic. Sorry, mali ko. Okay, mali ko, burahin ko lang. Okay, aerobic. And sa ating anaerobic naman, nakalagay naman na dyan, that's our lactate or lactic acid. Okay? So, less efficient siya compared kay our aerobic metabolism. I hope nagigets po. Ito lang po yung summary table. Makikita nyo na po dyan. End product natin, carbon dioxide and water or our pyruvate and lactic acid naman kapag anaerobic respiration or metabolism. So, dito na ngayon tayo sa ating glycolysis. So, ang ating glycolysis po, that's the first metabolic pathways po na meron sa ating cellular respiration. So, first things first, ano nga ba ang glycolysis, di ba? So, ano nga bang glycolysis? Siyempre, i-define natin yan. Okay? Glycolysis po is also known as Embden-Meyerhof pathway. Again po, also known as Embden-Meyerhof pathway. It is the pathway by which glucose is converted to pyruvate. Sinabi ko na yun sa inyo kanina, yung glucose po is nako-convert po sa pyruvate in, always remember this one, in aerobic condition. Aerobic po. Okay, kailangan ng oxygen. Kapag kailangan ng oxygen na condition, pyruvate po ang kanyang end product. And kapag hindi naman kailangan ng oxygen as oxygen po, under anaerobic po yon. Baliktad. Anaerobic. Okay, anaerobic po yon. So, that's our lactate or lactic acid. Along with the production of small quantity of energy, and it occurs in cytosol of all cells in the body. So, yan po yung glycolysis natin. So, meron tayong ngayon tinatawag na transport of glucose into the cells. So, meron tayo ditong dalawang classification. We have number 1, sodium-independent facilitated diffusion transport system. And also our sodium monosaccharide co-transport system. Pero unahin muna natin kung anong ibig sabihin ng ating or ano yung mga transport system natin na magfo-fall under sodium independent facilitated diffusion transport system. So first, we have our glucose transport. Kapag glucose transporter po ang ibig sabihin. Nagigets po? Glucose transporter po ang ibig sabihin ng ating GLUT. Okay, glucose transporter 1, ayan, abundant in erythrocytes, yung sa red blood cell natin, blood-brain barrier but low in adult muscles. And for our GLUT2 naman po, glucose transporter 1, abundant in liver, kidney, and beta cells of pancreas. Itong mga beta cells na to, ito yung mga cells na present sa ating pancreas. Meron din naman tayong mga beta cells sa ating liver, that's our islet of Langerhans. Okay? And then, GLUT3 po, that's primary glucose transporter in neurons. So, magkakaiba po sila, magkakaiba pong glucose transporter to, magkakaiba po yung function nila, magkakaiba po yung target nila, kaya wag kayong malilito. And also our glucose transporter 4, these are abundant in our muscles, ayan, muscles po, and adipose tissue, yung cholesterol natin, fatty acids natin, yung mga cholesterol po natin, mga fatty acids po na yan, na lipids, ganyan po, fats. So dito po yon nagkakaroon ng glucose transporter. And may increase by our insulin. And GLUT5 po, that's primary transporters for fructose in small intestine and testes. So, just a quick trivia lang po. 'Di ba nakikita nyo naman po dito sa testes natin na banggit niya na meron daw siyang glucose. So, yung glucose kasi na yan, sugar, okay, fructose, yung fructose na yan na sugar natin, is present po sa ating testes. So, boys or even girls, if kung natikman nyo na po ang sperm po ng lalaki, alangan naman po babae, di ba? Wala namang sperm ang babae. Okay, sperm po, ang sperm po namin, ayan, namin, kasi lalaki rin ako naman. Lalaki rin naman po ako. Okay? And yan, testes po, ang lasa ng sperm ay manamis-namis, kasi meron siyang fructose, manamis-namis na asim-asim na maalat-alat. Okay, that's the lasa ng aming sperm. So, huwag kayo maniniwala dun sa sinasabi nila na mas masarap daw ang sperm kapag uminom ang mga boys ng pineapple juice, ganon. So, hindi. Okay, hindi yon. According sa aking teacher before, so nurse educator na po siya ngayon sa US. Okay, test yon. So, wag kayong ma-curious ha, baka girls, ma-curious kayo bigla, boys, ma-curious kayo bigla, baka titikman nyo or titikim kayo ng sperm. Okay, wag naman sana. Okay, ayan. So, number 2 po natin, we have our sodium monosaccharide co-transport system. It is an energy requiring process that transport glucose against a concentration gradient. And also, it uses SGL2 inhibitors which makes low glucose to higher concentration. Etong SGL2 inhibitors natin, these are special type of medicine. Everyone, tandaan nyo po to. Ang ating SGL2 inhibitors, that's a special type of medicine. So, tinitake po itong SGL2 na to by those patient po or people na merong CKD. Okay? So, sir, ano din ang function ng ating SGL2 inhibitors? So, ang function ng ating SGL2 inhibitors, they lower the high blood glucose levels po ng mga taong merong CKD or yung mga may diabetes na yon. Okay, nilo-lower nila yung high blood glucose levels ng mga merong CKD na tao. And ang ating SGL2 inhibitors din ay, para may idea po kayo, ang ating SGL2 inhibitors po natin ay natitake po siya orally. Orally po ha. Ayan, orally. Ganyan po ba spelling? Okay. Orally, by mouth to, by mouth. Or, ayan, by mouth. So, hindi siya tinutusok. Hindi po siya nilalagay po sa mga swero. So, tinitake po siya. Yung gamot po na ito ay natitake po siya orally or by mouth. Okay? And then, tapos na po tayo sa ating overview of our the first part of our or introduction of our glycolysis. So dito na po tayo ngayon sa ating reaction of glycolysis. Okay po? So palitan ko lang po muna saglit yung aking copy. So ito. Makinig lang po kayo na maayos dito kasi baka hindi ko ata susulatan to. Ay pwede naman, sige mag-insert na lang pala ako dito. Pwede naman. Wait lang. Insert image. Sige, insert image na lang ako. Hindi pala ako pwede mag-insert. Okay, wait lang. Hindi ako pwede mag-insert, baka may makita kayo. Okay. Sige, dito na lang po tayo ngayon sa ating diagram na lang po na ginawa ko. Okay? Or yung reaction of glycolysis na ginawa ko. Okay? So, first things first, di ba sabi ko sa inyo kanina, ang glucose po natin to is yung magagamit po. Ayan po, yung magagamit para po makapag-create tayo ng ating pyruvate. So, yung first step po natin, paano ka ba i-insert kasi ito? Sige, dito na lang. So, yung first step po natin dito is that yung glucose natin is phosphorylated. Again po, yung term po na ginagamit natin dito is phosphorylated. Yung ating glucose is phosphorylated to form our glucose 6-phosphate. Ulitin ko po, our glucose is phosphorylated to form our glucose 6-phosphate. So, ano nga ba ang responsible na enzyme dito? So, ang nangyayari kasi dito, hindi natin mai-splits ang ATP into ADP kapag wala tayong enzyme na tinatawag nating hexokinase. Again po, hindi natin mai-splits ang ating ATP to ADP kapag wala tayong enzyme na may pangalang hexokinase. So this hexokinase is the one responsible for splitting ATP into ADP. Since na-split po natin yan, there is a release of our inorganic phosphate. Since na-release na po yung ating inorganic phosphate na yan, itong inorganic phosphate na to, magbabind siya sa ating glucose. So, meron na siyang inorganic phosphate, kaya naging glucose 6-phosphate. There is an addition of our phosphate group. Next po natin, our glucose 6-phosphate here is isomerized. Na-isomerize po siya to fructose 6-phosphate. Sir, anong ibig sabihin po ng isomerized? Meaning, same pa rin po sila ng molecular, yung ating, always remember kasi po, na ang ating glucose nito and our fructose ay isomer sila. So kapag isomers po ang kinag-usapan dyan, same po sila ng molecular formula but different in structural formula. Again po, kapag isomers, same po sila ng molecular formula but different in structural formula. Yun po ang tinatawag nating isomers. Okay, glucose 6-phosphate is isomerized using our enzyme na phosphoglucoisomerase or phosphohexose isomerase. Again po, glucose 6-phosphate is isomerized to fructose 6-phosphate using our enzyme phosphoglucoisomerase or phosphohexose isomerase. And then, yung ating fructose 6-phosphate is further phosphorylated. Again po, further phosphorylated means nagkaroon ulit po ng phosphorylation. It means may addition po ulit ng ating inorganic phosphate. Yung ating phosphofructokinase na yan, siya po yung nag-splits ng ating ADP into ADP para makapag-release po tayo ng inorganic phosphate. Itong inorganic phosphate na to, kakailanganin siya ni fructose 6-phosphate para makapag-add siya ng additional na phosphate group. Kaya ang resulting molecule will be our fructose 1,6-bis-phosphate. Merong isang phosphate dyan kanina, nag-add ulit tayo ng isang inorganic phosphate, kaya naging dalawa na yung kanyang inorganic phosphate. So, fructose 1,6-bis-phosphate na po ang tawag sa molecule ng ating fructose 6-phosphate. I hope nagigets nyo po. So, pwede nyo naman, kung mabilis po, pwede nyo naman pong ulitin, pwede naman pong bagalan yung speed din sa nitong video na to. And then, our fructose 6-phosphate, fructose 1,6-bis-phosphate po is cleave. Cleave po yan, cleave. Sir, anong ibig sabihin po ng cleave? That's the breakdown or breaking. Breaking pala. Breaking or, yes, pwedeng breakdown. Okay, breaking or breakdown po ng ating fructose 1,6-bis-phosphate into 3 carbon atom. Okay, into 3 carbon atom. Sir, ano yung 3 carbon atom na yan? We have our glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate and our dehydroxyacetone phosphate or DHAP. Kapag kumbaga magtatanong po ako soon, ganyan yung mga sa future quizzes nyo, wag nyo pong isulat yung G3P. Yan lang po yung shortcut, pero sa akin, di ba, sa case ko, kapag nagpapaquiz ako, ayaw ko ng shortcut. Gusto ko po yung buo, so kailangan yung isulat yung glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. So, na-cleave po ang ating fructose 1,6-bis-phosphate using our enzyme aldolase. Itong enzyme aldolase po, siya po yung nag-cleave sa ating fructose 1,6-bis-phosphate to form glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate and our dehydroxyacetone phosphate or DHAP. Okay? So, since meron na po tayo dalawang molecule na dyan na present after the cleave of our fructose 1,6-bis-phosphate, ang mangyayari po ngayon dito, pwede pong ma-convert ang ating DHAP into glyceraldehyde kasi siya lang po yung magpro-proceed sa reaction para makapag-create tayo ng ating pyruvate. So, pwede po natin i-convert yung dehydroxyacetone phosphate po natin using our enzyme phosphotriose isomerase or triose phosphate dehydrogenase. Again po, pwede po natin convert ang ating dehydroxyacetone phosphate or our DHAP and ayun po, using our phosphotriose isomerase or triose phosphate dehydrogenase. Next, since meron na po tayong G3P na yan, that will proceed po sa ating next step or next reaction na yung ating glyceryl 3-phosphate na yan is dehydrogenated. It means meron po siyang na-release na hydrogen. Again po, ulitin ko, itong G3P po natin is dehydrogenated using our NAD positive. Using our 2 NAD positive and our enzyme glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase. So there is a release po ng ating hydrogen. Ang nangyayari po ngayon dito, yung ating 2 NAD positive na yan na responsible po sa dehydrogenation of our G3P, mare-reduce po yan sa ating 2 NADH, di ba? Ganyan po yung kapag na-reduce po, ito po oxidize, ito po reduce. So kapag na-reduce po yung ating 2 NAD positive na yan, magiging 2 NADH siya. And then, since dalawa po yung molecule dyan, or yung, dalawang molecule po, so it means dalawa na rin po yung i-release po na hydrogen ions ng ating glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate to create our 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. I hope nagigets nyo po yun. 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. Okay po. So, since mayroon na po tayong 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate, our 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate is converted. Lagi nyo pong tatandaan yung mga keyword, mga term ko po converted, phosphorylated, isomerized, ganun po, dehydrogenated. Importante po kasi yon. Kasi yun po talaga yung nagagamit. Okay? Hindi pwedeng convert po lahat yan. Okay? So, yung ating 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate is then converted po sa ating 3-phosphoglycerate. Ano pong nangyayari dito? Since na-convert po yung ating 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate, meron pong na-release dito na dalawang ATP. So, dito pa lang po, meron na po tayong, ano po yung na-create natin? May na-produce na po tayong dalawang 2 NADH po and then dalawang ATP. Okay? So, tatandaan po natin yan. Ninote ko na po. And then, para po ma-convert natin ang ating 1,3-bisphosphate into 3-phosphoglycerate, kakailanganin po natin ng enzyme, of course. Okay? Our 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate kinase or phosphoglycerokinase po. So, yan po, dalawa po or isa, pwede nyo pong gamitin yung 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate kinase or phosphoglycerokinase po. Next po natin, our 3-phosphoglycerate now is hindi po converted. Pwede pong converted yon. Pwede pong gumamit ng converted na term dito. Kasi ang nangyayari ngayon dito sa ating 3-phosphoglycerate and 2-phosphoglycerate is mayroon pong shift of phosphate group. Shift of phosphate saan po? From carbon 3 to carbon 2. Okay po? Kasi dito 3-phosphoglycerate, sa third carbon po naka-attach ang ating phosphate. And sa na-convert po natin na 2-phosphoglycerate, sa second carbon naman po naka-attach ang ating phosphate. So, with the help of our enzyme na phosphoglyceromutase. So, meron na tayong 2-phosphoglycerate. Again, ang ating phosphoglycerate po is converted po. It is converted into our 2-phosphoenol pyruvate. Ang ating 2-phosphoglycerate is converted into our phosphoenol pyruvate with our enzyme enolase. And in this reaction po, meron pa tayong na-release na isang hydrogen molecule, isang water molecule. Again po, in this reaction, from 2-phosphoglycerate to phosphoenol pyruvate, meron pa tayong na form na 1 molecule of hydrogen using our enzyme enolase. And ibabalikan lang po natin dito yung ating glucose to glucose 6 phosphate. This is irreversible reaction po. Irreversible reaction. It means hindi na po siya pwedeng bumalik dyan unless ibabypass po natin. Okay? And also our fructose 6-phosphate into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate po, irreversible po ulit ito. Irreversible. So balik po tayo dito sa ating phosphoenol pyruvate or our PEP. And PEP po, last step na po ito. So kailangan natin i-convert yon into pyruvate. So dito nagkakaroon ng dephosphorylation. Again po, nagkakaroon po ng dephosphorylation of our phosphoenol pyruvate para makapag-create lang po tayo ng pyruvate. It means nagtanggal po tayo ng phosphate group sa ating phosphoenol pyruvate. So since natanggal po yung ating phosphate group, diyan makikita nyo sa reaction po natin, yung ating 2-ADP na yan, magiging ATP na siya kasi may natanggal po dito, hindi po na-add yun, natanggal po, so naidagdag ulit siya, naging triphosphate na po ulit siya. Okay? So naging triphosphate na po ulit siya, and then meron na po tayong pyruvate which is an end product of our aerobic respiration. So with the help of our enzyme, syempre, our pyruvate kinase. Hindi pa po dito nag-stop kasi meron po tayong anaerobic pa. So sa ating anaerobic, kailangan nating i-convert ang ating lactate. Ang ating pyruvate into lactate, di ba? So since yung ating pyruvate is aerobic, ang mangyayari po dito ngayon is mare-reduce ang ating pyruvate para maging lactate po siya with the help of our enzyme lactate dehydrogenase. Okay? Lactate dehydrogenase. Okay? I hope na kuha po yung ating process. Ayan po ha. Nagets na po? So, ayan. So, natin. Balikan po natin yung ating, wait lang, i-delete ko lang muna to, lahat. I-delete ko na to lahat, Balikan nyo na lang po, i-pause nyo na lang po, i-forward nyo na lang po, or i-backward nyo na lang kung gusto nyo balikan po. Okay, burahin ko na kasi ito lahat. Okay, wait lang saglit. Wala, hindi na ma-delete yung iba, hayaan mo na. Okay, so, wait lang. So, hayaan mo na dyan. Okay? So, how many ATP is produced? So, always remember po na ang ating NADH po, katumbas niyan is 3 ATP. And then, kapag FADH po, that's 2 ATP. So, sa ating process po kanina, 8 ATP po yung na-produce po natin. Okay? Sa ating reaction of glycolysis, hindi po kasi siya process. Okay? Kasi hindi yun paulit-ulit. Kapag process po, cycle po yan. Okay? And then, in glycolysis, 2 ATP is produced in substrate level phosphorylation and 6 ATP from 2 NADH are produced in oxidative phosphorylation and it yields 8 ATP after the process. And ito po, wag niyong problemahin po yan. It should be glycolysis. So yan, meron po tayong mnemonics para po maintindihan nyo ng maayos ang ating steps. We have our goodness gracious Father Franklin did, dapat ito did sa small letter D yan. Okay, did go by picking pumpkins to prepare pies. So ang kanyang breakdown, glucose, ayan yung mga steps, glucose 6-phosphate, fructose 6-phosphate, fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, or our G3P, 1,3-bisphoglycerate, 3-phosphoglycerate, 2-phosphoglycerate, phosphoenol pyruvate, and pyruvate. And also, we also have our mga enzymes po na present po sa ating glycolysis. So we have here hungry pirates, pick all the greatest pickled pumpkins ever prepared. So its breakdown, it's hexokinase, phosphoglucoisomerase, phosphofructokinase, aldolase, fructose phosphate isomerase, G3P dehydrogenase, phosphoglycerate kinase, phosphoglycerate mutase, enolase pyruvate kinase. And malapit na po matapos, the fates of pyruvates. So the fate of pyruvate, ganito lang po yun kasimple. Kung paano po na convert ang ating pyruvate kasi magagamit po natin yan. So first po natin, conversion to lactate. Na-explain ko na yun kanina, ang lactate po kasi, since our pyruvate is aerobic, ang lactate naman is kakailanganin po siya for our anaerobic respiration. And then, pyruvate can be reduced in cytosol by NADH, forming lactate. Ayan po, habang napo-form po yung lactate natin, nagkakaroon po ng regeneration of our NAD positive using the enzyme lactate dehydrogenase. And also our conversion of our acetyl coenzyme A, the oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvate by pyruvate dehydrogenase complex. Ito po yung enzymes responsible for conversion of our acetyl coenzyme A in the mitochondria, and it converts pyruvate to acetyl coenzyme A. Diba sabi ko sa inyo kanina, it is a pathway, so continuous po yung process po na yan. So kailangan after ng glycolysis natin, that will eventually proceed sa ating citric acid cycle or yung ating Krebs cycle, which ang kinakailangan or yung bida po, ang bida naman po dito na molecule is ang ating acetyl coenzyme A. And meron pa isa mamaya, this is our oxaloacetate. Itong oxaloacetate and our acetyl coenzyme A, magre-react po yan para po mag-proceed po yung process natin ng Krebs cycle. Again po, magre-react po sila para makapag-proceed po sa ating next na cycle, which is our Krebs cycle. And then, conversion of oxaloacetate, ayan nga, pyruvate can be converted to oxaloacetate by pyruvate carboxylase. An enzyme found in tissues such as liver and brain, it replenishes the intermediates of TCA cycle. Or, kapag ibig sabihin po niyan, it replenishes, dyan po nag-i-start, dyan po sineset po yung condition para po makapag-proceed tayo ng ating TCA cycle. And also the conversion of our alanine. Okay, pyruvate can be transmitted to form amino acid alanine. And overall, ganito lang po yan. Ang dami pong nasabi dyan. 2 ATP po yung net na na-produce after glycolysis, and then 2 NADH or 6 ATP. That's the total of 8 ATP after glycolysis. And then, last na po ito, the regulatory enzymes of glycolysis. So we have our hexokinase found in most tissues and engineered to provide glucose 6-phosphate. Or to simplify this one, ito po yung nagko-convert nagpo-phosphorylate po ng ating glucose to form glucose 6-phosphate. Pinophosphorylase po niya para makapag-create po tayo ng glucose 6-phosphate. And then, number 2 po, glucokinase. It is induced when insulin levels are high. And then, our PFK1, phosphofructokinase, function at a rapid rate in the liver when blood glucose levels are high, or in cells such as muscles when there is need for ATP. Yan, phosphofructokinase 1. And also our pyruvate kinase, yan po yung kinakailangan natin para makapag-create po tayo ng ating pyruvate, which is the end product of glycolysis in aerobic condition. And yan lang po yung summary table ng ating na-discuss sa enzymes. Okay? Tapos na po tayo doon. Next discussion ko na po itong citric acid cycle. I hope pa-follow nyo po lahat ng sinabi ko, and then pwede nyo naman po ulit-ulitin yung mga sinabi ko na yan. Just take your time and review well for your quiz po. Goodbye.